We have Chris Hopkins here. He is the head coach for Team New Brunswick that are participating in the 2018 Football Canada Cup in Calgary, Alberta. Chris, thanks so much for giving us some time this evening.
Happy to be here. I'm really looking forward to the tournament, so this is pretty exciting.
So, Chris, for people that are watching this and they don't know about your background as a player and a coach, can you give them a little bit of insight as to who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. New Brunswick, born and bred. I played my university football at Mount Allison for 5 years, from 2003 to 2007. Lucky enough to get into coaching right after and coach some high school around here in the St. John region. And then after that, I moved on to Mount Allison in 2012, and I was pretty much a coach at Mount Allison ever since. And then this past year, I just changed my role and moved on to Carleton in the university sports setting. So I'll be coaching in Ottawa this coming fall. In terms of the high performance program, I'm the outgoing high performance director with Football New Brunswick. I've been part of the program since 2011 when we brought the program back, and been the head coach of the program since 2014. And it's been pretty exciting to see the growth of New Brunswick football over the last 4 years, and I know it's in great hands with James Price coming in. So this has been a great farewell tour for me, and I love New Brunswick, and I'm looking forward to a week in Calgary.
So let's get into this year's Team New Brunswick. Can you tell me what we can expect from this year's team?
A team that's mentally and physically tough. I think that one of the greatest things about our program is the development portion that's built into the program in terms of our ability to start the team basically and start the process in April, and the opportunity where you move in and you have the exhibition season with Nova Scotia. You can build a pretty cohesive unit, and you build some strong relationships. I sincerely believe we have 40 great men, 40 great people that are involved in our program, great coaching staff, and some great support staff around us. So on the field, a team that's going to have some resiliency, understands that they're going up against a lot of adversity, and that it's going to be a tough tournament for them. But we understand that we're going to take it play by play and make sure that we're better football players and better people by the end of the tournament. And that's kind of the thing that you're going to see from the Team New Brunswick squad. And the other thing is just demonstrating professionalism wherever they are, whether they're on and off the field. And I take pride in the fact that we have some great people involved in the program, and I can't wait to showcase it in Calgary.
So let's get on to the offensive side of Team New Brunswick. Let's talk first of all about your quarterbacks. Who are they? Talk a little bit about their playing style and how they complement each other, and also how they might be a little bit different.
Yeah, so first year we've ever taken 3. I think that's a testament to the quality guys that we have and how far the quarterbacks have come in our province. So there's 3 guys. They're actually from all 3 regions that play football, so it's kind of unique. Justin Vogels, who's been involved with the Tantramar program and has won 2 provincial championships. Jonah Rawlins, who's been involved from Leo Hayes, that's been involved in the program as well at the U16 level, coming up, provincial champion at one time. And then Alex Cassidy from the St. John region. And, all of them have had success in our program and in the high school programs, and great leaders, focus every day, trying to get better, work hard, and they complement each other really well, because I think that everybody possesses different attributes in terms of how they throw the ball, how they run, how they make plays, but they're all the same in terms of having high character and being great leaders. So it's been a pleasure to work with them, and I couldn't feel better about the decision that we've made.
So with the offense, can you tell us what we can look forward to seeing on the field with your offensive unit? And if you could also mention a couple players to watch.
With offense or defense? Sorry.
Offense first.
Defense?
Offense.
Offense, okay, yeah.
Unless you want to go defense first, and we can switch it up.
No, offense is good. Last year was tough. We were young. on the offensive side of the ball and not as experienced. One of the best things that like Football Canada has put in and ourselves, you know, is the U16 program, and then now having like a development portion that is built in and leads up to U18 in the national tournament. So we're pretty blessed in terms of having a good mix of young underage guys and of age guys that have experience at the national level. So, you know, up front, you know, we have 2 guys who played for Team Canada East playing on the offensive line. I sincerely believe that we have seven great offensive linemen, you know, whether they're 17 or 16 years old, and I think they can play with anybody. 3 great backs that really complement each other in terms of speed and physicality, and you know, some good receivers that are sure-handed and have the ability to make plays in tough spaces. So really, our offense finally kind of represents what we envisioned in terms of what we would like to build from a New Brunswick football team. And like I said, like just great people, and they've been working hard for the last 2.5 months, and I couldn't be more excited to see them have success next week.
And let's go down to the flip side, the defense. Again, what we can expect in terms of how they'll be on the field and a few players to watch. Yeah,
so well, I should have mentioned, you know, on the offensive side of the ball, like Tom Breaux and Bradley Peters and Dale Precious, another guy on the offensive line. Cody Barton as a receiver, I think, will be an X factor, and Oliver Burnett will be guys who can compete at the national level and showcase themselves. Defensively, I think that we're going to be physical. We're going to be much more physical than we've been in previous years. We have some length in the secondary, which is a huge asset in this tournament, especially if you're going to open up against a team like Quebec, who's usually very long in the receiving core. We have some experience in that secondary. We returned 4 of our defensive backs from last year, so Sergei Ayland, Daniel Bell, Lucas Cormier, who played with Team Canada last year, and David Daniel Pendleton, who kind of are holding down the back end. And, you know, we complement those with guys within, you know, Owen O'Neill, who played Team Canada East, and, you know, returning our field corner, Wesley Riley. So, you know, I think that we'll be anchored in the back end, and we'll be able to you know, create some mistakes on the back end and be able to create turnovers on the back end and force players to make plays underneath. And, you know, up front, we may not be as experienced, but I think that we have a good group by committee that will be able to get it done. I think that we have 2 defensive linemen we really like, Will Russell and Nathan Clark, that I think that can be national level guys and will be great university football players. So we'll look to them to kind of hold it down up front and set the tone. But, you know, a group that just loves playing football, like they have, it's fun and it's frustrating to play them as an offensive coordinator in practice, but it's some fun watching them make a play because they're a pretty tight group, and I think they play with great emotion and great character.
Chris, how important of a role is special teams going to play in this tournament for New Brunswick?
Huge. Coming from me as a special teams coordinator at the university level, you know, it's nice to have that experience, but it's even more important in a 3-game tournament in 1 week. You know, your opportunity where you can win field position in a 48-minute football game is really important. You know, that first and foremost is huge. So you have to be able to win field position. You have to be able to defend the field and get yourself out of tough situations. And you can't have mistakes. You just cannot have mistakes on specials, and it's costly. You know, 2 years ago, we brought one of our best teams, and we played Manitoba and made 2 mistakes on specials, and it cost us, you know, and it put us in a position where that was really the ball game. So I can't stress to you how much we've tried to put into our specials and how much we're trying to get better there. And you know, it's a process, but I think we're developing a good culture there.
So how many returning players do you have coming back to this year's Team New Brunswick overall?
Geez, I should have had that number ready to go. I believe we're in the 18 to 21 range.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's one of the high numbers.
Yeah, I think we knew that last year when we built the program, when we built the team. I think that New Brunswick's kind of unique. We're a smaller province. I mean, we probably have the smallest catchment in terms of the national tournament. So when you look at these teams and how you build them, it's really important to think of, like, all right, are these going to be the guys we want to have for 2 years? And you build up for probably like a 2-year process where people don't really understand like the way the tournament's set up. Every year affects your seeding. So it's really important that you can build up to a year and set yourself up that you can have a year maybe being a higher seed or putting yourself in a little better position to compete early.
Okay. So, Chris, your opponent in the first game are the defending champions from Quebec. What do you know about your opponent? And what can you tell me a little bit of what you're expecting in this game, and what has Team New Brunswick done to prepare for this game?
We couldn't be more excited, Amita. I mean, we are pumped. I think that in order to have development, you got to play up, and you got to play up to a higher level. And Quebec's demonstrated over the last 3 or 4 years that they've been the best, and they've been what everybody should aspire to be. I have immense respect for what Football Quebec has done and Marco has done over the last few years. So we're embracing the challenge, and we can't wait to get out there and play and be able to show us be able to make some plays against a great football team and build some confidence for the rest of the tournament. So that's the biggest thing in terms of preparation. You prepare from previous tournaments, and you try to get your spies on the ground and get as much information as you can, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Amita, they're going to be 40 great football players that are going to be coached really well. So right now it's about taking care of us and making sure that we're prepared to play and making sure that New Brunswick doesn't beat New Brunswick. And that's what we've been trying to stress to the guys the whole time is how can we make ourselves better to make sure that we're confident going in.
So, Chris, obviously with this match, New Brunswick is being labeled as the underdog in this game. Yeah. How do you feel or react when people call you the underdog?
Yeah, everybody wants to be the hero. I think it's a little more difficult to be the underdog. We embrace it. We are very honest with our kids in terms of it's a tough tournament for New Brunswick to play in, but I think that the tough tournament creates tough football teams, and it makes them better football players at the end of the line. And I think that this is one of our toughest groups yet, and we embrace the adversity. We have no issue being the underdog. We're going to play our butts off, for 3 games and do everything that we can and present the best product we can from the 506. I have no issue being the underdog, and I just can't wait to take the field with my guys. That's going to be a lot of fun.
What is the goal for Team New Brunswick at the 2018 Football Canada Cup?
Yeah, compete every snap. Compete every snap and, play 3 strong games. And, we don't look past anybody, obviously, and, we're looking at Quebec. But the biggest thing for us is, understand who we are and to be confident at the end of those 48 minutes when we play Quebec and feel like we're going to put ourselves in a position to have a great rest of the tournament. And obviously, the Quebec, it's a tough football team, but I guarantee we're going to be a better football team after we play Quebec. And, that's going to go for game 2, and that's going to be the goal for game 3. We're very process-driven. We're just going to try to be a better football team at the end of the week than we were when we started, and probably create some great relationships that'll last forever as well.
If you could describe the 2018 version of Team New Brunswick in one word, what would it be and why?
I would say toughness, and we do a good job. We demonstrate, we try to define what toughness is in our program. And it's not just about, trying to play through injuries. For us, it's about being mentally tough and emotionally strong. And we're still working at it. We'll see. We'll have a good understanding of how tough we're going to be throughout that program. But, I feel like we have 40 guys that love football and, love each other and are demonstrating toughness every time we step on the field. So I hope that that's the case when they come to Calgary. I couldn't be prouder to kind of represent these guys. I love them to death, and I think that there's a lot of character in this program, and we continue to build and continue to kind of build into a program that's starting to be nationally renowned and starting to put ourselves on the map nationally, and we just need to keep improving.
And that comment you just said, it reminds me when we did the post-game interviews in Wolfville last year, and you were very emotional in all the games that you played. And so your passion as a coach does come out with these kids and with the game. So I just want to make that comment. So Chris,
I appreciate that. That's the key. Like for us, like everything in terms of toughness and in terms of what we do in the program has to be out of love for the guy next to us. And you know, our program's unique because we have the opportunity that we can build throughout 3 months, and we have the opportunity that we can build some of those skills and some of those skills that aren't necessarily required on the field. And hopefully they stick with each one of those players for the rest of their lives. So
my final question for you: what are you personally looking forward to at the 2018 Football Canada Cup?
Spending a week with our team. You know, just being with our team for 9 days in a row, and we have a lot of fun. You know, and we have a great coaching staff that has some great relationships with everybody on the team. And you know, this past weekend we just completed our training camp, and like it's tough not to smile and just realize how lucky we are to do this. And I'm just looking forward to spending a week with our guys, and you know, seeing them ball out and seeing them perform on a national stage. And at the end of the week, I can't wait to see how confident they're gonna be, and how much better they're gonna be as football players and people. That's what we do this for. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to getting out west, and I know our kids are too. It's going to be a great week.
That was Chris Hopkins, the head coach of Team New Brunswick. They will be participating at the 2018 Football Canada Cup next week in Calgary, Alberta.